Stop what you're doing right now. Manchester, October 2019. A skinny 16-year-old nobody from a forgotten industrial town walks in a Carrington training ground for what everyone assumes will be another failed trial. 2 hours later, he's signing academy papers while 3 other Premier League scouts are literally fighting over who gets to offer him a contract next. This kid hadn't scored a single goal in his last 5 matches. His speed was average, his technique was decent at best, and he'd been rejected by 7 different academies over the past 18 months. So what changed? What transformed this overlooked player into the most wanted prospect in England within a single training session? The answer will shatter everything you think you know about academy recruitment. For the past 8 months, academy scouts from Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester United, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Bayern Munich have been secretly observed by an independent insider. Their recruitment meetings have been attended, their signing debates analyzed, and the hidden algorithm used to distinguish future professionals from the rest has been uncovered. The recruitment system is not broken. It is functioning exactly as it was designed to. But it has been designed in such a way that 99% of players will never uncover it on their own. The players who are signed are not necessarily the most talented. They're the ones who have grasped the game within the game, the psychological cues that compel scouts to compete for them, and the precise set of behaviors that lead academies to label them as unmissable talent. Here's what nobody tells you about academy recruitment. Every month, Premier League scouts watch over 500 players across England. From those 500, they'll recommend maybe 3 for trials. That's a 0.6% success rate. But the players who get selected aren't the ones scoring the most goals or making the flashiest plays. They're the ones who trigger specific psychological responses in scouts' brains. For 6 weeks, Jamie Morrison, Chelsea's head of recruitment for the past 12 years, was shadowed by an outsider. On a rainy Tuesday in November, while a youth match was being watched from his car in Birmingham, he revealed something that transformed long-held assumptions about football recruitment. Most people think the best players are what we're after, he said, gesturing toward a technically gifted winger who was dismantling defenders with pace and skill. But that's not the case. What we're really seeking are the safest investments. That kid? He's incredible, but he's also a massive risk. The player who will be signed today is the one already thinking like a professional. 20 minutes later, a central midfielder, who had touched the ball fewer than 15 times during the match, was signed by Chelsea. Meanwhile, the flashy winger, who had scored twice and recorded 3 assists, was sent home with yet another rejection letter. The difference wasn't talent. It was something far more subtle and infinitely more influential. Before I reveal the secret system, I need to destroy 3 lies that are keeping you invisible to scouts. The first lie is the talent myth. You've been told that if you're good enough, someone will notice you. I watched Manchester United scouts reject a player who just scored 4 goals in a match. His technique was flawless, his finishing was clinical, but he was making one crucial error that instantly categorized him as not professional material. The second lie is the highlight reel mentality. Players think they need to produce moments of magic to get noticed. But when Arsenal's head scout sees a player attempting a bicycle kick from 30 yards instead of making a simple pass to an unmarked teammate, he doesn't see creativity. He sees selfishness, poor decision-making, and a player who will struggle to adapt to professional football's collective demands. The third lie is the waiting game. Players think that if they keep improving and performing well in their local leagues, eventually a scout will discover them. This passive approach has killed more dreams than any lack of talent ever could. Professional scouts don't randomly stumble across hidden gems. They follow systematic processes that you can learn and exploit. Academy scouts don't evaluate players randomly. They use a sophisticated assessment system called Impact that analyzes 6 specific categories. Intelligence accounts for the largest portion of their evaluation. This isn't tactical knowledge you can memorize from YouTube videos. It's about game intelligence, the ability to read situations before they develop and make decisions that benefit the team even when no one else understands why. Mentality is where most talented players destroy their chances. When a Liverpool scout sees a player argue with a referee's decision or show frustration after a teammate's mistake, that player is immediately categorized as high risk, regardless of their technical ability. Physical attributes matter, but scouts aren't just looking for speed and strength. They're evaluating athleticism, potential, and physical maturity indicators that predict how a player's body will develop over 5 years. Adaptability separates professional prospects from everyone else. During trials, scouts deliberately change instructions and create scenarios that force players out of their comfort zones. Consistency transforms potential into contracts. Scouts evaluate players across multiple viewings because the player who performs at 80% consistently will always be chosen over the player who occasionally reaches 95%, but frequently drops to 60%. Teamwork is what most individual talents ignore. Scouts aren't looking for players who can carry teams. They're looking for players who make teams better. When Manchester City scouts see a player celebrate a teammate's success with genuine enthusiasm, that behavior gets noted as a positive indicator of professional character. Now I'm going to give you the exact 7-day blueprint that positions any player as an irresistible academy prospect. This isn't about improving your football skills over a week. This is about demonstrating the specific qualities that trigger positive responses in scouts' brains. Days 1 and 2 focus on intelligence positioning. You need to train your brain to see the game like professionals do. Watch matches differently than you've ever watched them before. Don't follow the ball. Watch the players without the ball, their movement patterns and positioning choices. Every 30 seconds, pause and predict what the best decision is for the player in possession. This rewires your tactical brain to operate at professional frequencies. During training, focus entirely on decision-making speed. Don't worry about perfect technique. Practice making quick, correct decisions under pressure. Make runs that create space for teammates rather than just getting the ball for yourself. Ask your coach tactical questions and show genuine interest in understanding the why behind every instruction. Days 3 and 4 are about mentality showcase. Every interaction becomes an opportunity to display professional character. Arrive 15 minutes early and warm up independently. When coaches give feedback, implement it immediately and visibly. Show vocal leadership by encouraging teammates and organizing defensive positioning. Never complain about decisions or show negative body language when things go wrong. Days 5 and 6 focus on adaptability demonstration. Volunteer to play different positions during training, even unfamiliar ones. When coaches ask you to try new tactics, show enthusiasm rather than hesitation. Practice being comfortable with being uncomfortable, because that's exactly what professional development requires. Work on your weaker foot not to master it in 2 days, but to demonstrate willingness to develop limitations. Day 7 is Integration Performance Day. Focus on making your teammates look good rather than trying to impress scouts with individual brilliance. Create assists instead of hunting for goals. Cover defensively for teammates making attacking runs. Communicate constantly to help organize team shape. Most importantly, maintain consistent energy throughout the entire session, because scouts know motivation is easy when you're fresh and winning. Scouts don't just evaluate your performance in isolation. They watch how other people react to you, particularly coaches and teammates, because these reactions provide social proof of your character. Before any opportunity where scouts might be watching, invest time in building genuine relationships with your current coaches and teammates. When coaches trust you enough to give you leadership responsibilities, and when teammates look to you for guidance during pressure moments, scouts notice these dynamics immediately. Arsenal's academy coordinator told me they specifically observe warm-up interactions and bench behavior. Players who naturally organize others and maintain positive energy get flagged as potential signings before the match begins. Getting noticed isn't about playing well in random matches. Academy scouts are most active during September through November and February through April. District championships and regional tournaments receive far more scout attention than regular league matches. Saturday morning matches receive 3 times more scout attendance than weekday fixtures because scouts work regular schedules. Geographic positioning matters more than most players realize. Academy scouts typically focus on areas within 90 minutes of their training facilities. If you're outside these zones, participating in tournaments within scout-heavy regions becomes crucial for getting noticed. Academy recruitment is fundamentally a relationship business. Your current coach is your most valuable asset because coaches have credibility with academy scouts that players and parents don't possess. Ask your coach to actively promote your development to academy contacts with specific examples of your improvement and professional behavior. Connect with players who have recently signed with academies in your area. These players maintain relationships with scouts and often have insider information about upcoming trials. Identify former academy players in your local area who understand the culture and expectations of professional environments. When you get that trial opportunity, your first impression happens before you touch the ball. Arrive 30 minutes early, warm up independently, and introduce yourself professionally to coaches. Maintain maximum energy for the entire trial duration and respond to coaching instructions immediately and visibly. Take leadership opportunities during drills and communicate positioning to teammates. Academy coaches deliberately create situations where natural leaders emerge. Maintain professional demeanor throughout. Thank coaches for their time. Ask about next steps and leave contact information professionally. Within 24 hours, send a brief thank you email highlighting specific coaching points you learned. Use social media strategically by sharing positive aspects of the trial experience. Ask your current coach to follow up with specific examples of how you've implemented feedback. 2 weeks later, send an update showing continued development in emphasized areas. Always request specific feedback about what prevented selection. Create a targeted improvement plan addressing those areas within 30 to 60 days. Maintain communication with the academy by updating them on improvements. Use rejection as motivation to pursue opportunities with other academies, because addressing weaknesses makes you stronger everywhere. That 16-year-old kid from Manchester didn't become a better player overnight. He understood something that 99% of talented players never learn. Academy recruitment is a game within the game, and the players who understand the rules always win. The impact assessment system, the 7-day positioning strategy, the psychology hacks, the visibility multiplication, the networking acceleration, the trial domination approach, and the systematic follow-up process aren't theories. They're the exact methods that smart players use to bypass the get lucky and get noticed approach that leaves talented players overlooked. Every academy has specific needs and systematic processes that can be understood and influenced. The players who get signed aren't necessarily the most talented. They're the ones who understand that talent is just the entry fee to a much more sophisticated game of positioning, psychology, and strategic presentation. Your football ability got you to this point, but your understanding of the recruitment system will determine whether you advance to the professional level. The academy scouts are out there right now, making decisions that will change young players' lives forever. The question isn't whether opportunities exist. The question is whether you're prepared to seize them. The 7-day countdown starts now. Your professional football future isn't determined by how well you play. It's determined by how strategically you present yourself to the people who make signing decisions. If this video just changed your entire understanding of how academy recruitment really works, smash that like button and subscribe for more insider secrets. Drop a fire emoji in the comments if you're ready to implement the 7-day system, and tell me which academy you're targeting. Your professional journey starts with your next strategic move.